Hi guys, I'm Grace and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this simple infinity scarf. It is beginner friendly, so let's begin. So for this video you're going to need a yarn, of course. As for the yarn, you can use any yarn that you have. This is a DK weight yarn, and you can use a chunky yarn, a runway, twisted. It doesn't really matter with this pattern. The only thing that matters is the hook size that you choose for your yarn. You need to go with a hook size that is slightly a bit bigger, because especially if you crochet tightly, your stitches will be too tight and the scarf will be too stiff. So for this scarf we need it to be a bit loose, so it can snag nicely around the neck. So personally I'm using this DK weight yarn and 4.5mm crochet hook. The yarn is not so thin, it's not so thick. And you're also going to need a pair of scissors, some darning needle to weave in your ends, and lastly a tape measure to measure how long your scarf is going to be. So for the materials, I'm just going to show you something else I made. I made these. This is the same scarf but a cowl form. It's not too long, it's just a cowl, but it's really long going upwards, so you can wear it around your neck and around your head. I used chunky on this one, and I used a 8mm crochet hook, so it comes out light, and you can see it's very light, it's not stiff. And this is a work in progress, and this is the yarn that I am using for this one. It's called milk cotton. It's a DK weight also, but for this one I used a 5mm crochet hook. So go with the hook that feels that your stitches are coming out a bit looser, because we don't want it to have too much tightness. We want it to drape nicely around the neck. So we are now going to get into the pattern, and this is a long one that you can tie around the neck twice like this, but it's not finished, it's too thin. And this is a cowl neck. So if you want to make this one, you just have to make one very long chain. And if you want to make this one, the beginning chain, you don't have to make it too long, just something that will sit around your neck. But as you can see, the pattern stretches a lot, so it gives you a lot of room to play with. It stretches lengthwise and widthwise, so that's why we need this drape. That's why we need a big crochet hook. So as for these, the color changes, we are working the pattern in a spiral. We are not going to be slip stitching at the end. So, and with this method, the only flaw with this method is if you want to make a scarf that you're going to be changing colors, the colors will come out like these ones. You change the colors. You can choose to slip stitch and begin a new row at the end, especially if you want to change colors on your scarf. But this is just how I do it. I just make a knot and begin the next row, the next stitch. So let's start on the pattern. So you're going to grab your yarn, and we are going to be making foundation stitches. This is the easiest way, so you can know the length of the scarf easily. I find chaining to be a little bit hard, so you're going to make a slip knot just like that, and then you are going to chain 3. 1, 2 and 3, like that. And we are going to be making foundation half double crochets. So you are going to yarn over and go into the very first stitch, and you're going to go you see there are 3 loops. You are going to go on the first 2 loops, and you're going to leave the last loop. So you're going to yarn over and go in between here like that. You're going to yarn over and you're going to pull up a loop like that. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. you are going to yarn over and pull through the first one. And this like a chain we made, this is where we will go in the next stitch. When we are doing the second stitch, this is where we are going to be placing our hook into. Now because it's a half double crochet, you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 like that. Then you're going to yarn over, and this space that we made, if you need to place a stitch marker, so you know, you can go ahead and place a stitch marker, but it has like 2 loops, so we are going to go into that space. Once we work a few stitches, it's going to be more evident. You're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. You have 3 on your hook, yarn over and pull through the first. It's like we are chaining, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through all the 3 loops like that. So this is where our stitch is going to go. So yarn over, and you see it has like 2 loops, this and this one. You're going to go into both loops like that, yarn over and pull up a loop. You have 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first loop only, yarn over, pull through all the 3. I'll show you one more time. Yarn over, we have these 2 loops here, so you're going to yarn over and go through both loops, just like that. Yarn over and pull through the first one, yarn over, pull through the first one, yarn over and pull through all 3. So you are going to continue with these foundation stitches until you have the length of the scarf that you want. This way you have worked 2 rows at the same time. If you prefer chaining and have double crocheting, that's still okay. The number of stitches in this scarf, you can do any number of stitches, even or odd numbers, it doesn't really matter. So let's meet once we are done. I'm going to be making a total of 220 for this scarf. I'm done with my foundation, and now we're going to join the 2 ends together, and you're going to make sure that your chain is not twisted. And now we are going to join these 2 ends together. So to do this, this is where there was the beginning chain 2 that we did, because we worked in the very last stitch. Now you see there's this loop hanging. We are going to go into that loop, and we are going to do a half double crochet. There are 2 loops. Try and go into both, so this stitch comes out a bit tight like that, and you're going to do a half double crochet. And by doing that, we have joined our 2 ends. And now, because the way the pattern looks like, it looks like a knitted pattern. There are these stitches at the front, and the back it's a bit flat. So these stitches are these 2 loops at the top of our row. So we are going to be pushing these loops to the front. And to do that, well, if you look at your row, the half double crochets have a 3rd loop at the back. It's called the back bump, this 3rd loop here, and you see there are already these 2 loops at the top. So we are going to be working into this back bump, the 3rd loop. So we are going to go into the next stitch, and we are going to look at where our 3rd back bump is, and this is the bump. So you are going to go in there and do a half double crochet into the next stitch. And once you start to work the row, it automatically kind of pushes the stitches to the front, so the back bump on the other stitches it's a bit more visible. So spot the back bump, which is this one, and do a half double crochet. just like that. And this is the pattern that you're going to be doing for the entire scarf. And once we reach at this point, we are just going to continue. We are not going to be doing any slip stitches. And before you continue, there's a possibility of this twisting before you reach the very end. So to avoid that, you can just join these two ends together. This is just how I do it. Just pull this through and make a chain like that and tighten that, so you can see it's joined. This way, this possibility of this twisting before you reach the end, it's a bit hard, and that way you're not going to undo a whole row because your scarf twisted. So you are going to continue with this pattern until you reach the width of the scarf that you want. It is just that simple. Once you reach at the end, I'm going to show you once I reach here, but basically it's the same thing. We're just going to continue with doing half double crochets at the back bump of each stitch. So let's meet you at the end so I can show you how to continue on the third row. So I am towards the end. Just going to half double crochet as usual. So this is the last stitch, so I'm going to spot the back bump into that one, and I'm going to do a half double crochet, and I'm just going to continue doing half double crochets all around. So as you can see, the pattern is already forming. So this is the pattern you're just going to be doing all around until you reach the width of the scarf that you want. If you want it thicker, if you want it thinner, just continue doing half double crochets in the round until you get the width that you want. As you can see, the knitted look is already starting to form. So this is a full knit scarf. I don't even know the name of the stitch. I think it's called H double crochet in the back bump, or the very back loop. So you're just going to continue that, and then you can leave it as it is, or to finish this off, we are going to come and do a row of slip stitches at the very end. And once we are done with these, at the very end here also we are going to do a row of slip stitches, so the end is a bit both ends are a bit firmer. And as you can see, this one I did chaining and half double crocheting, and it's a bit loose compared to this one. It's slightly a bit looser, so I can get away with not doing slip stitches on this row, but for this one I'll just have to do slip stitches so it can be a bit firmer, because it looks a bit wonky on this row. So that is the pattern. The scarves are done. I did a total of 3, and 2 of them are made with milk cotton, and this one is made with Winter King. And the knitted looks so nice, and I didn't do slip stitches on this one because the edges look neat already. So I left this as it is. I just finished the row and slip stitched and whipped in my ends, and that's how it looks on the inside. And this is the other one that I showed you. On this end I didn't do slip stitches, and that is the last row, and this is the beginning row where I showed you the stitches look a bit wonky on my foundation row. So I did slip stitches to make that row a bit firmer, and it came out really nice. The blue one I didn't do any slip stitches. So the width of these scarves like this one is 6.5 inches, and the yellow one also 6.5. The other one is 7 inches wide. For the length, they range the blue one is 60 inches, the other one 54 inches. So hope you enjoy.